Okay, so like I've talked about in one of the videos, I've had, a lot of struggles with mental health. I had very bad depression and anxiety for a big chunk of my life. And one thing I wanted to talk about was what my parents gave me. And what my parents gave me was a cloak and some armor to combat coming out of mental health issues. Um, I was depressed and anxious for so long that I lost sight of my personality. I grew very, very meek for a really long time. And I was the person that would keep getting taken advantage of. And I wasn't very confident. And if you know me now, you're like, that's not who I am. I'm very full of myself. Too much. A little too much. But I am a very confident person. And, coming out of um, mental health, I want to say like the way I see it is kind of like you're in the woods, or maybe like a video game. I'm gonna say like a video game, and it's like you're constantly leveling up. So I was in like the worst part. Like I was in the inferno. I was in all the circles of hell, and it was just really shitty. And then when you start coming out of that, you know, it's very easy for people to look down on you, to put themselves above you because they've seen you in a very weak and meek position. And my parents have always loved me throughout my struggle, and my sister, and my family members too, but my extended family members. But I but my extended family members didn't come to this country for a long time. So the people who I was with, you know, the most were my immediate family members, my dad, my mom, and my sister. And even when I was at my worst, and it was very hard on my family. Having a daughter who is suffering and who's very unhappy and you don't know why, it was very frustrating and very hard on my parents. And I know it was very hard on my little sister because she looked up to me for most of her life, and there was a lot of friction in my family, and my family was fractured for a really long time. But as many times as there were disagreements or fights, or things were said, hurtful things, we always got through it, and we always got through it because of how much we loved each other. And now, as I have those moments where I feel less than, it's not very often, but sometimes you have those moments where you feel less than because of your experiences, because of who you used to be. I pick up that cloak, that armor that my family has given me, which is that they have loved me even at my worst moments, even when I was struggling, even when I was, not easy to love. Because even though I was struggling, that doesn't give me a pass for acting the way I did at times, for saying and doing things that were hurtful. And I remember that, and it just gives me the strength to be like, yeah, I went through some really shitty things. I did and said things that I'm not proud of, but I got through it. I got to the other side. I did what I had to do. I grew, and I'm not there anymore, and I never will be. And this video is for people who are struggling with a mental health issue, to never let anyone put you down or make you feel less than, or make you feel like they're above you because of your issues. Don't ever let anyone pity you. Remember that you're a fine ass motherfucker. And take whatever cloak, whatever armor, whether it's, you know, your family's love or self-love, which I know can be hard for someone struggling, or something that a mentor, a stranger, something that you can cling on, so it can be your armor and it can be your strength. And I hope that all you guys find that, and you never ever let anyone treat you less than because of your experiences or your illness or whatever you're going through.